Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw.
Welcome to episode 2 of Breaking Brews for Hope Estheim. Y'all know by now is a super popular mill commander, super powerful mill, except for it's got a nice twist. You mill opponents down for how much life you gain for that turn. So we are in the spoiler season of Edge of Eternities, and they actually brought some really good cards to help your Hope Estheim deck out. So I'm looking forward to sharing with them. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So, if you haven't seen this card, this is a must auto include for Hope Estheim. I do not know how to say that word. Anyway, I should look it up. Anyway, we got Space-Time Anomaly for 2 white and a blue. It's a sorcery. It says target player mills cards equal to your life total. What? You are in a life gain deck anyway. So if you have 60 life and you cast this card, you will make a target player mill 60 cards. There's nothing else to say. I'm moving on. Auto include. Buy it immediately and add it to your commander. Hope. Now look, this is the Endstone. It's a very popular artifact from Edge of the Eternities. I got a video on it, how to play it, how to use it. It's somewhat busted. It could be even busted, but it's a very good card. Just kind of a last ditch effort for Hope Estheim. So let me explain. The Endstone for 7 mana, legendary artifact. It's going to be expensive to buy. I know it is. It says, whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. No brainers, right? But at the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total, rounded up. So I like to explain it like this. If your life total is from 19 or below, and at the end step, you will gain that much life to get to 20. Okay? If you are at 21 and higher life, you will lose that much life to get to 20. So this card does life gain and life loss. So look, at the end step, you're going to stack your triggers with the Endstone. You're going to have this first before you use Hope Estheim's end step trigger. And whatever life you gain, you can make opponents mill that many, possibly game ender. So look, we got Starfield Vocalist for 3 and a blue. A really good card, I believe. It is a 3/4 human bard creature. 3/4 body. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes the trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. It has warp for 1 and a blue. So look, all those Ajani's Primates, Soul Attendants, Authority of the Consuls, when you cast a creature and you have this creature or enchantment on the battlefield plus Starfield Vocalist, you're just gaining an extra life. But 2 life is better than 1. And the good thing about Starfield Vocalist, if you're trying to do an explosive turn, you can cast it out of your hand for its warp cost for only 1 and a blue. So whatever trigger that you plan on adding an additional time, you can hold Starfield Vocalist in your hand and cast it for a warp cost to take advantage of that opportunity. So from Edge of Eternities, they introduced Spacecraft. I think this is a really good Spacecraft to add with Hope Estheim, just because I like these spacecrafts. They're an artifact that come into play. Then you just tap your creatures to put charge counters on them to make a creature later on. So they have value later on. As you have creatures, you can make them into creatures, right? And they're just not a factor until later on. So the Seriema, let me explain what it does. For 1 and double white, it's a legendary artifact Spacecraft. When it enters, search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Cool. You can tutor probably Bruvok the Grand Delinquent, which is a powerful creature for mill, or will Scion of Peace to reduce the cost of spells. So the Seriema is a legendary creature tutor card. Then it has Station. This is where you tap creatures and you put charge counters on the Spacecraft equal to the creature's power. All you need is 7+, and you can make the Seriema a 5/5 flyer that says other tap legendary creatures you control have indestructible. Cool. Keeping creatures on the battlefield with indestructibility is very strong. Okay, so we got Haliya, Guided by Light for 2 and a white. I think this is a really good card. She's kind of like your Soul Attendants and the Johnny's Pride mates, but a little bit powerful, right? She's a 3/3 body, legendary creature, human soldier. She says whenever she enters or another creature or an artifact you control enters, you gain 1 life. That is 3 different criterias. The creature yourself, you gain 1 life. Any other creature, you gain a life. Or any other artifact, you gain 1 life. Treasure tokens, food tokens, clue tokens, whatever. Then she says at the beginning of your end step, draw a card if you gain 3 or more life this turn. So remember, Hope has lifelink okay, or all those creatures that entered or artifacts that entered the battlefield, if you gain total of 3 life or even additional triggers, you get to draw a card. Just value, value, value. And it has a warp cost of 1. What? That's nothing. So cool. Thank you for watching episode 2 of Hope Estheim. Stay tuned as I release or more sets become released because I'm looking for more cards to add to this commander. That will be episode 3. But if you haven't seen episode 1, make sure you click on the video here for episode 1.